Times are tough, and everyone is looking for ways to stretch a dollar. It's not an easy task. Costs are going up, and paychecks aren't moving at the same speed. 10 on Your Side is here with ways to make things more affordable, some of them in places you may not think. What we found could help you save in a big way. This is Financial Fitness.
Hi everyone, I'm Markeisha Jackson. Thanks for joining us for this Financial Fitness special. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll show you the different ways you can save money, as well as what's being done by others to ease the burden on your wallet. We'll start at the beginning, your budget. It's tighter than ever, but there may be a few other ways to cut here and there. 10 on Your Side, Cheyenne Pagan kicks things off.
One of the biggest New Year's resolutions out there is to get your budget in shape. And if that's your goal for 2026, you need to make sure it's one that fits your lifestyle.
Budgeting, savings accounts, and investing. These all can seem like scary words once you start trying to get into saving money. Head fiduciary at Jarver Financial, Paul Michael Young Mills, has been talking money for more than 2 decades.
A budget is accounting for every dollar that comes in and how it exits your household.
So what is the first step in creating a budget? Young Mills says you need to look at your necessities and make sure your income covers them. Then pay yourself first. If you have an employer plan with a match, he says make sure you're at least doing that.
And then also put some funds into a Roth IRA and a private account for you. Not the Roth side of your employer account, because you still have to wait till 59 and a half to grab that in case of an emergency. But in a Roth that's private, you can actually take out your cost basis whenever you like.
He says it's best to put your money, even money that is set aside for emergencies, in a place where it can gain good interest and make returns.
And there are a lot of safe ways to go about that, safer investments. And with that, of course, you should talk to a financial professional to understand what those safe investments are. But the point is, you don't want to just stick it in savings.
According to Greater Hampton Roads Connect, the average household income in the region is around $107,000.
And what I'm able to do is help.
Young Mills says when creating a quick budget for a household that makes around that $107,000 figure, the hope would be to invest about $17,000 a year. But he says the most important thing in this process is to start habit building over time, especially when starting an emergency fund.
As long as we're putting money away, and it doesn't, at the beginning, it doesn't matter how much. You want to have that discipline that you're putting money away, because as you see that grow, you get excited. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, okay, I can do this. And you'll start to put more there.
And when you sit down to create that budget, bring the family together to go over everything you spend monthly so you make sure all expenses are accounted for. Young Mills also recommends not doing it in dollars, but percentages.
So you want everything down on paper, and then you can figure out what percentage you are currently able to provide for savings / investing. And after that, you have the ability to grow, because over the years, you're going to get pay increases, things of that nature.
Now back to that emergency fund. Young Mills recommends having 3 to 6 months worth of money that reflects your cost of living saved up so you have a nice cushion in case there are any big life changes. Cheyenne Pagan, 10 on Your Side.
Thanks, Cheyenne. Great information there. One thing that's been fun about being a part of this series of stories is finding that family that knows how to cut corners. This time around, I found a family in Carrollton who's not just good with money, but may have some help from the man upstairs.
I have 7 children that I birthed.
As a wife, mother, business owner, deliverance minister, and devout Christian, the list of hats that Michelle Harris wears are many. But one thing that has never slipped from the top of her list of responsibilities is finances.
We have to be a good steward over our finances.
She says conquering your finances can lead to growth in every other area of your life. It's something she teaches through her ministry, Vital Impact Deliverance.
Are we taking care of what God gave us? It may seem small to us, but we take care of that small thing He'll bless us with and make us ruler over many.
And small changes lead to big differences.
The best time to shop is around the 15th to the end of the month. That's where you're going to find all the specials, the deals. You can save money there. Buy out of season. If you want to buy clothes, buy out of season. And when you buy out of season, you get it at a discount. You're hanging it in your closet.
There's a method to grocery shopping too.
If you have to shop, think while you're shopping. Never go in the store hungry, because you're going to buy up everything. Other tips, subscriptions. Do we really need them? Because they might be $1.99, $2.99, $5.99, but if you take all the subscriptions and add them up, That's $30 that you could be putting aside to saving towards either paying your credit off or saving towards building something.
And once you have some savings built up, don't let it just sit there. We don't mean spend it, but invest and invest wisely.
Get rich quick schemes, right? We got all of that out here, and you're still not making it. The tip I would give now, invest in real estate, invest in something that's going to bring you a return, invest in yourself. You know, we spend all these, it's nothing wrong with support. It's nothing wrong with that. But don't get so wrapped up in supporting that you forget to support yourself.
She says her tips in ministry have helped people save thousands, and she invites you to take the time to get your finances in shape too. Think frugal and affordable.
I found one of my clients $5,000. He didn't realize on one weekend that he was spending that much.
I had a lot of fun talking with Michelle about her frugal family. We have more of her money saving strategies right now on WAVY.com. Okay, let's look at some of the most essential things that have quickly become out of reach with cost. Groceries. 10 on your side, Karina Garcia takes us shopping for the deals at the supermarket.
Right now, everyone is feeling the pinch at the grocery store, which is why we set out to find the answers as to why food feels so expensive and what you can do to save some money. Meet William and Mary economics professor David Feldman.
Food prices are extremely volatile.
And that shows up at the store, where Feldman explains grocery prices have risen faster than overall inflation over the past year. Something we saw during our shopping experience. But those same policies, such as tariffs, don't affect every item the same way.
So egg prices are down. Bacon prices are down. Breakfast is cheaper, but dinner's more expensive.
ODU economics professor Andrew Cohen also weighing in.
But if you buy their in-house brand, it's usually 15-20% cheaper in some cases, and the quality's the same.
And that's especially true at the meat counter, where ground beef prices have jumped more than nearly 20% since last year.
You have to have a willingness to adjust your purchases.
And we did just that with ground turkey.
Buying things in bulk from the source, avoiding packaged foods that have high markups, buying raw things.
We took all their advice, putting it to the test. We're going to divide this cart. One side is going to be our standard, and then the other side is going to be our budgeted, based on the advice that we received from these financial economists. Let's see how this turns out. At a local Walmart, we started with a shopping list comprised of the most bought items like milk, ham, bread, and coffee. We stuck to raw ingredients, just like they said, avoiding prepackaged foods. This bag of broccoli, which is $5.98. See, already, $1.97. Incredible. And made it a priority to switch from name brands to generic ones. For our standard side, we're gonna go with our name brand. We're looking at $3.47 on this side. However, if you take a look right here, our Great Value brand is looking at $1.94. So when all is said and done, we went ahead and added our totals. Mind you, this is before tax. So on our standard side, we're looking at $80.96. On our budget side, we're looking at $60.03. You're saving nearly $21. And this is, mind you, when you decide to stay frugal and follow the tips given to us by the professionals. And so the experts say you can't control the prices, but you can control what goes in your cart. And flexibility goes a long way, too. In Portsmouth, Karina Garcia, 10 on your side.
We know you're doing what you can to watch your spending, but some potential new laws could make life more affordable. Governor Abigail Spanberger has also made it a priority. 10 on your side's Chris Horn looks at what's in the works in Richmond.
We want to ensure that Virginians can afford to live, work, build families here in the Commonwealth.
One area that state lawmakers are working on right now is reinforcing independent pharmacies, vital in areas where healthcare in general is limited. House Bill 335 would strengthen and stabilize access to pharmacies, especially ones on the brink of closure.
We'll see some immediate impact in support of our local or family-owned pharmacies, but overall leveling within the marketplace will occur a bit more over time.
But affording health care goes far beyond the cost of prescriptions. House Bill 327 aims to restore state subsidies for the Affordable Care Act, better known as the Obamacare plans.
It's a plan that is meant to stabilize the marketplace. It is a targeted program, and in its current formulation does not pull from the general fund. This program, with its targeted efforts to stabilize, at least here in Virginia, the ACA marketplace, given the chaos we're seeing out of Washington, is meant to counter those efforts.
And that includes the cost of staying warm when the temps are in the single digits. House Bill 2 would require Dominion and Appalachian Power to make energy efficiency measures to lower the energy costs for low-income residents. Another need for Virginians to make ends meet: affordable housing.
Larger investors, sometimes private equity, come in and buy all of those affordable housing units, take them out of affordability.
Senate Bill 74 would focus on housing needs for older residents and encourage construction of moderately priced housing.
Or in a rural community or a small town, that might be the only amount of affordable housing in your community. Once it's gone, the price is reset. The impact is not just on those who depended on those affordable housing units, but it increases prices across the board.
State lawmakers are also working on more protection from eviction. House Bill 527 promotes housing stability by eliminating barriers that keep people from paying their rent and provide interventions or diversions to keep people from becoming homeless.
The changes in eviction timeframes, once that bill is signed to law, you see immediate impacts.
Chris says the governor is also working on job security for Virginians. A recent study found more than 6,000 civilians in Hampton Roads lost their federal jobs in 2025. Much more to come on financial fitness. The state may be helping you save on insurance, but you can do your part as well. Chris Horn is back with that after the break. And there's an app for that, the things you can put on your phone to get the most for your money at the gas station. All as we continue with financial fitness. Back now on financial fitness with a subject that's troubling millions of Americans: affordable health insurance. A lot of wrangling in Congress about that this year, and as we showed you in our last segment, state lawmakers are also looking at the issue. But there are some things you can do now to protect your family. 10 on your side's Chris Horn is back with that story.
Let's start with something that's not up for debate.
So it is becoming harder and harder to be able to afford health care.
And harder still if you're on one of the plans from the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare. Subsidies for those plans expired last week.
When you remove that subsidy and people are exposed to the full cost of the premium of their coverage, it becomes unaffordable. So most of those, at least a quarter or more, are reporting that they're just going to go without coverage.
But that risk is no remedy. Alan Balch is CEO of the Patient Advocate Foundation. It's headquartered in Hampton, but helps people nationwide solve their insurance problems. High deductible plans are one way to save, but only sort of. Balch says don't be misled by the temptation of lower premiums.
You have to be careful with high deductible because a lot of times you're sort of robbing Peter to pay Paul.
In other words, if you get sick, the money you saved on the lower premiums will be gobbled up by more out-of-pocket dollars trying to reach that higher deductible. Some pro tips now. Think of your healthcare budget as a chessboard. You can move pieces around to save in other areas. If your premium is hard to afford,
look to see if you might be eligible for Medicare or Medicaid. You could talk to an insurance broker and see if they might have something to offer in terms of some other individual coverage you might qualify for. If you have children, you may qualify for the CHIP program, which is coverage for your children.
Next, check with the pharmaceutical companies that make your particular prescriptions. Many of them offer assistance.
So you may be able to get coverage for your medications, and that'll free up dollars to help pay for your other out-of-pocket costs for your insurance coverage.
This next recommendation involves a little research, or you can check with the person who manages benefits at your provider's practice. Balch says if you have a particular condition, there may be funds specifically designed to help.
Patient Advocate Foundation, as well as several other foundations, have disease funds that cover copays associated with medication, and some of those also cover insurance premiums.
So overall, making health insurance more affordable means looking beyond your bill and finding all the ways you can save. Remember, all those dollars are coming out of the same place, your pocket.
Either for your medications, for your rent, for food, for premiums that you could use to help defray the cost of your insurance. We have plenty of resources on our website and elsewhere to help educate people about how to pick the right plan for them.
Thanks, Chris. And we have links to some helpful resources on cheaper insurance right now at WAVY.com. Well, gas prices sneaking back up, and you may be looking for ways to cut corners. There was once the popular phrase, there's an app for that. And for gas discounts, that's still a thing. 10 on your side's Ashley Knight has more.
Saving at the pump can be hit or miss.
I kind of shop around. I do my personal investigation, and whichever one I find the cheapest, that's the one I go to.
I just bought this new car, so yes, I have to save wherever I can.
Experts say for the best savings, downloading a loyalty app may be the way to go.
With the average American household set to spend over $2,000 on gasoline in 2026, using tools like Gas Buddy and loyalty programs can go back to save you 25 to 50 cents a gallon.
Each one is different, so it's important to find the one that best fits you.
Some may roll your price back instantly, some you may earn points, some you may have tiered points, meaning the more you spend at a given station, the more you may earn back.
The Gas Buddy app, for instance, shows you prices at nearby stations. It also gives you gas back for shopping at partnering stores, but there's more.
And I use the Gas Buddy app paired with a credit card, and I earn rebates and rewards on that. I have a loyalty program, and then the Gas Buddy app saves me up to 33 cents a gallon off. So there's actually not just a one-size-fits-all approach to loyalty programs.
And as for loyalty programs, it seems every station has one. We met Pamela Pilkington right as she was downloading one at 7-Eleven.
Well, I was originally going to get gas this morning at Walmart, but I remember that I had 26 cents off at 7-Eleven, and when I saw the price here, I did quick math and I zoomed in here.
She had signed up for text messages, but realized she had to download the app in order to get the savings, which is the case with many gas stations.
I travel to Ohio to see my kids, so this is going to be a great benefit. I love it.
And the savings took her breath away.
No way. 220.
Circle K's app gets you 3 cents off a gallon. Wawa's app gives you points for every dollar you spend in store or on gas, and those can be redeemed for food, drinks, or fuel. AAA also has an app that does more than just get you roadside assistance.
We have a national partnership with Love's Travel Stops, and then as well with Shell, where members can go in and connect their membership in the respective apps, and then they can save at those specific places as well.
So if you're on the fence about loyalty apps, experts say pedal to the metal.
That's going to basically amount to several $100s. If you're just pulling up, paying the retail price, you're leaving a lot of potential savings behind.
And Ashley reminds us that these apps are different from stores like Kroger or Costco that has you punch in your phone number or swipe your membership card at the gas pump. Up next on Financial Fitness, it's a big number, but do you know what it means? The importance of having a good credit score after the break. And thrifting for threads, the fashion finds at deep discounts. All ahead on Financial Fitness. Stay with us. Welcome back. We continue with crunching the numbers on your credit score. Do you know a bad score from a good one? 10 on your side's Brett Hall has a look at why your credit score is playing more of a role in your life these days.
The saying is cash is king, but plastic, many Americans have found it fantastic. According to a 2025 report from the Federal Reserve, credit cards are used more than any other sort of payment for person-to-person transactions. And as they've become more prevalent in our lives, so has the credit score they're connected to.
Credit scoring and credit reports have become an integral part in almost every asset of our lives now, from applying for a job, getting electricity, anything like that.
Erica Carson is a commercial loan and participation officer for First Advantage Federal Credit Union. She tells us your credit score is essentially a 3-figure number that banks and lenders use to determine your credit worthiness. The higher the score, the more money you might be able to charge to a credit card.
Ideally, you would want it somewhere over 700. I think the biggest thing is that in today's world, or you're going to pay more for a credit score that's lower. You can get the things usually that you want to get, but you're going to pay significantly more if you don't have a credit score that's good.
But how does one achieve a good score? Carson explains a strong credit score is different than being debt-free.
There's 5 main components to a credit score. The biggest piece of that is delinquency. So you want to look at how much your delinquency you have, when was the last time you had delinquency, and try to get as far away from that as you can.
Meaning delinquency on minimum credit card payments, mortgages, car loans, and student loans. The other factors have to do with how much of your available credit is used, how long you've had a line of credit, and the mix of credit you have. While credit cards can lead some into trouble, Carson says it's actually important sometimes to have at least one.
You can generate a credit score with a minimum of 2 trade lines, and you can monitor it for free once a year.
She says you can look up through the group you have your credit with to find out how to look up your credit score. She says it's important to check your score at least once a year, as factors can change month to month. Bottom line, make on-time payments and know it's never too late to turn around a bad score.
And you can always correct it. You're never defined by that score.
In tab, Brett Hall, 10 on your side.
Thanks, Brett. Before we head out, let's go on a little shopping trip to the thrift store. We have an expert in the newsroom. Our Julia Avery has tips on thrifting, including how she puts her on-air outfits together.
We're at the CHKD on Airline Boulevard in Portsmouth. I like shopping at CHKD because I like knowing that the money is going to a good cause. My first tip for thrifting is to always find out what the discounts are. Today is Tuesday, and here at CHKD, every Tuesday is 25% off for all customers. Most places also have other days for military, first responders, and seniors. So today we're going to get 25% off. Let's go see what we can find. CHKD thrift stores raise nearly $2 million per year for the Children's Hospital, so you're saving lives while saving money. My second tip is to feel for a thick material. Once I feel something that has this nice thick material like this, I check it out. This one's Tahari, which means it's a pretty nice brand and it's in pretty good shape. The good thing about thrifting professional clothing is most people have only worn the items a few times before they donate it. And you want to make sure you don't just get a house full of thrifted clothes that you're never actually going to wear. So my next tip is when you see something you think you like, ask yourself, if I saw this in the mall, would I buy it for full price? If the answer's probably not, I'm just excited I found something, it's not worth it. But this is something I do think that I would probably buy if I saw it in the store. And I'm looking at it thinking I could even add a belt to this. I also found a white belt. I think this will work. And some heels in my size to complete the outfit. Wait. Yep, I'm buying this one too. I'll wear this on Friday. So my last tip is just to be patient. It takes a while sometimes. I got lucky today, but sometimes I find things I really like. This is Calvin Klein. I love the color, but it's not my size. So I had to keep digging. It's gonna take a while. It's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, great. I've got this.
Okay.
The belt to go with it and the shoes.
Comes to $12.67.
Thank you so much. You too. There you have it, $13, and we rounded up for charity. I got a dress, a belt, and some shoes. Let's go see what it looks like on air. Once I took it home, fully washed everything, I even buffed out this little belt buckle here. This is how it all turned out. I wore this outfit all throughout the morning on air, and it cost me a grand total of $13. A total of $16 with that brown skirt that I picked up. I'll wear that one tomorrow morning. I'm Julia Avery, 10 on your side.
Thanks, Julia. She is truly the queen of thrifting. A quick reminder to check out WAVY.com for everything you need to know about being financially fit into 2026, as well as the latest news and weather headlines. Look for another financial fitness special this summer. From all of us at 10 on your side, I'm Markeisha Jackson. Thanks for watching.